How much should I feed my dog? Many people will give different types of answers based on their experience with their dogs. However, the scientific facts related to the feeding aspects in case of dogs need to be given emphasis during the feeding activities maintained in case of dogs. Usually the puppies should not be separated before they are 8 weeks old. However, sometimes the orphaned puppies may exist. Usually about 5% of the body weight may be taken as criteria for the quantity of food to be given to the puppies. However, the amount that is consumed by the dog varies with size of the dogs also. However, one can have a thumb rule of feeding the puppy goes until you see visible fullness of the abdomen to a moderate degree. If you are going on feeding the animal without giving emphasis to the animal's stomach appearance, then the puppy may experience some kinds of digestive upsets and the diarrhea may occur in them. This may cause many inconveniences to the owner as well as the puppy. Unlike adult dogs, the puppies need to be fed with restricted amounts of food but in more frequencies. However, once the age advances, the amount may be increased to some extent but the frequency of feeding is often decreased in many occasions. A dog on a raw diet may consume only 2 to 4% of their body weight. Just observe closely the feeding pattern of the dog and the body condition of the animal. If the dog becomes obese, just reduce the quantity of food, and if the dog becomes thin, then have an increase in the feeding items. As mentioned earlier, puppies and adolescent dogs eat more than the adult dogs. Likewise, the geriatric dog eats less than the adult dog due to the reduced movements of the dog. However, remember to restrict the amounts of protein during the feeding of diet to the aged dogs. Now, how often should I feed my dog? This often becomes an important question asked by many dog lovers and dog owners. If it is a puppy with an age of the first 6 weeks, the puppies need to be given milk at the rate of 5 to 7 times per day. The puppy will make some sound if it wants to feed in general. However, the feeding frequency may be reduced when the dog becomes 6 to 8 weeks old. By the time the dog assumes the age of 4 weeks, it may start taking of some solid food. Hence, mix the solid food with water in majority and feed your puppy once or twice in the beginning, and if the dog develops some diarrhea, then delay the feeding. Most of the times, it is due to trial and error but taking some basic steps in feeding, so you need to watch out. The feeding frequency may be changed to 2 to 3 times after the assumption of age of 8 weeks. However, if the dog is seen hungry craving for food, then provide food once than the estimated numbers. This varies with different breeds of dogs. However, avoid feeding too many times in this age group of dogs. Around 3 months to 6 months of age, the puppy will be teething. Hence, restrict the feeding to 2 times only, but the balanced type of nutrition needs to be provided to the dogs of this age group to avoid the deficiency-based symptoms in them. From 6 months to 1 year, try using puppy food that is available commercially. However, from first year onwards, the adult food may be given gradually. However, when the dog becomes an elder dog, restrict the frequency of feeding since the movements of such adult dogs are highly reduced due to multiple reasons. However, the pregnant animal may be fed an extra time depending on the willingness of the animal, and restrict the quantity of the food but without compromising on the quality of food.